Hey, how are you? So we literally just finished the Andor Episode 8 breakdown, the Andor Episode 8 watch party right now with everyone, and it's currently 3:04 a.m. This was after Tales of the Jedi. I will have a video for Tales of the Jedi separately, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go check that video out. This episode didn't really have all that much to go over. I'm going to briefly explain what happened in case you missed a couple things. However, I can do so in a much more concise way just by speaking to you with a talking head video, and we're going to do that today for episode 8. So essentially what happens is Andor is now in jail, wrongfully accused, of course, and he is finding himself in a sort of a Squid Game type of situation led by Andy Serkis, who is the gentleman who did the mocap and voice of Smeagol, and of course, Snoke in the sequel trilogy. Did a fantastic job for both. Now, it seems like they're building some sort of a machine. Obviously, they're an engine of some sorts, and whoever comes in first place, there's a sort of a reward system with food. And, you know, the food is essentially paste flavor, or it has taste like something like chicken or whatever, or it has no taste at all. So, or you get zapped. And that seems to be sort of the reward system there, which is food. And, you know, what better way to incentivize your prisoners, I suppose, with food. So, Andor is stuck here. How he's going to get off that, he would have to team up with probably an Imperial, and that could very well be something that happens. Maybe they get off, kind of like how Poe and Finn did in The Force Awakens with the TIE Fighter. He teams up with someone and they get out of there, because they're in the middle of the ocean. It's not really going to go anywhere unless there's like some canal underneath the water, underneath the ocean, that perhaps can lead them to land. But even then, they're going to be hunted. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets off. There was one little fun Easter egg, and that's Tay, Mon Mothma's friend, political friend, was actually wearing a variant of Ralph McQuarrie's original Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi outfit. And I thought that was kind of fun, and I saw someone actually mention that in the comments during the live stream. That was actually John Papasergio who actually said that. So shout out to John, and shout out to Ralph McQuarrie, of course, and anyone else who caught that. Now, with Bix being captured, that's also interesting, but nothing really led much there, or was explained all that much. Saw Gerrera is in the picture. Now, the cool thing with Saw Gerrera is that he was trained to fight. During the Clone Wars, he was trained by Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Rex with military tactics. Because what was going on during the Clone Wars, during the battles with the Separatists on the clone side, Saw Gerrera actually reached out to the Jedi Council, and Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Rex were sent to him to kind of mediate things, see what's going on, and they ended up training him and his crew in warfare, in military tactics. And so that's kind of cool. It's kind of like he takes what he's learned from Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka and Rex on with them through the show, which is nice, and maybe we'll see some of those tactics. Perhaps there'll be a callback, maybe not, who knows. So he's going to be joining Luthen's cause and Luthen's fight. And he, I guess, knows Luthen for a while, and he says to Luthen, you know, are you tired of doing everything in the shadows? Luthen says, are you tired of fighting with the people that are on your side? So it seems like there's this fun, friendly banter that goes on, where they do differ, but they've probably been around each other for quite a while, and they know how each one works and ticks. Mon Mothma is still having a hard time getting together her crew of people for her rebellion, which is going to be actually a meeting for a charity for Chandrillans, which is her home world. But to the Empire, they won't be the wiser. They'll think it's just a charity. However, it's really a band of people getting together and discussing rebellion. She's trying to get as much money as she can and funds, of course, to fund the rebellion. You know, they need ships, they need places, they need infrastructure, and of course they need to eat, so they need a lot of people to pay for. Marva is sick and delirious. Seems like her knee is hurting and she's in pain, but she's fully in belief that the rebellion is happening, and she is now part of the rebellion. She's a rebel herself, and I thought that was pretty cool to see. She's still got fight in her, the old lady. Beyond that, nothing really crazy happened in the episode. I mean, Cyril is being questioned by the ISB, which was cool that they popped in to collect him. And he had a little smile at the end, and I feel like he is hopeful that they're going to use him and recruit him. And he was trying to get Daedra to recruit him into the Empire, because he wants his job. He wants to work for the Empire. He believes in the Empire. So I guess this fully debunks any theory that I had earlier, or anyone else had earlier, regarding him fighting against the Empire and joining Andor. He is fully dark side, and he fully joins the Empire and wants to work with them and find Cassian. He hates Cassian. And he probably blames him for everything that happened with his life, with his job, for losing his job. Beyond seeing how Cassian gets out of that prison, I think there will be probably a lot of things happening in the next, was it 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 episodes, and I'm excited to see where the show leads. Now I'm going to go make a breakdown for Tales of the Jedi, because I'm unbelievably excited to talk about that. I will be doing a breakdown for every single episode, however, I'll just spread it out over the week and weekend, and you guys will have all the episodes at your convenience, and we'll be talking a lot about it, especially on Nerd Theory and Monday, so make sure to stay tuned for that. As for this breakdown, apologies if it wasn't what you were expecting, but really I don't want to milk it. There wasn't really all that much to discuss or talk about. I do wish there was more, but, you know, shows like this I believe are built for TV, and when you're given a contract for a 12-episode run, you kind of drag episodes out more, in my opinion. I think all of the things in this episode could have been explained and shown within 7 to 10 minutes. However, it wasn't. It was dragged out, and, you know, just like, look, Tales of the Jedi, things happened very, very quickly. We could have gotten much slower, much slower, but it would have changed the pace. And I feel like the pacing for Andor is all over the place. There is no consistent pacing whatsoever, but there is character development, and I guess that takes time. So, say what you will about it, but I didn't like this episode. Thought it was quite boring, quite slow, and it wasn't for me. However, the other episodes I did enjoy, and you know about those. So, we'll see what next week brings. The show is still piquing my interest, and hopefully it's something that will garner a lot of your interests as well. I am very excited for Disney to see, and Lucasfilm to see, the analytics regarding these shows, and I think they'll be surprised to see that the animated show, of all things, that Dave Filoni created, is by far and large so much more popular. And I mean, they could even just see that in the Tales of the Jedi trailer. I mean, it got more views than The Mandalorian Season 3, I believe, and if not, very close in second place. But I believe it got more views than the actual Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. So I would love a second season of Tales of the Jedi, maybe Tales of the Sith, perhaps, and they could even just create seasons on those both shows, Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith, following a young Palpatine. But I'm going to discuss that more in the next video regarding Tales of the Jedi. I hope you enjoyed this Andor Episode 8 breakdown. Hope you have a great night, and may the Force be with you.
Fulfill your destiny.